Hello! In this video, we will be exploring the usage of Git and also how to use Git to copy an existing project repository into your computer. We will assume three things. First, that you have heard of Git and have a basic understanding of what it does. To put it simply, Git is a version control system that stores and tracks content. A version control system creates versions of folders and files of code. It is useful in use cases such as projects where there are multiple members working simultaneously. We will also assume that you have Git installed into your system. Git is available in all platforms such as macOS, Windows, and Linux. I will put a link to the installation page in the video description. Third, we will also assume that you have set up SSH access. I will add a link in the description on how you can do that. So let's start with the story. Let's assume that you are a new developer that was hired and was given this project. You have access to the repository in GitHub, so this repository, and also the board in Jira. You were assigned this ticket in Jira, AREM27. So, for illustration, I will be using this project in GitHub, which I created using the Vue.js framework. I will insert a link in the video description so you can follow. Okay, to get started, you need to set up the project in your computer. To do this, we will use a command called git clone. So open a terminal and type git clone. Git clone receives a URL as an argument, which you will get from GitHub. So in the repository, click on this green button called code. And there will be two options, HTTPS and SSH. Since we already configured our SSH access, we will just copy this into the clipboard. Again, I will insert a link to an article on how you can set up your SSH keys. Now copy, and here we will paste the URL. So paste and enter. Once the clone is done, open the project using your favorite code editor. I prefer WebStorm, but you can use VS Code or other editors as well. The next thing we'll do is we'll configure the name and email for this Git repository. To do that, let's first type git config user.name. This command shows the name that is currently set for this repository. As you can see, it is blank now, so let's set the name. So type git config user.name space, and in between two double quotes, write your name. So for me, it's Mark, and optionally, you can put the company name so it will be more recognizable, and type enter. Now, when you run the same command, you can see that the value is set to Mark-Besnard Consulting. It is also the same for the email, so git config user.email. Set it to the email that you wish. So for me, I'll type contact@besnardconsulting.com. Okay, now that it is done, I'll just clear this. And next, let's run this application. So first, you'll notice when we look at this project directory, we can see that this app is created using the Vue.js framework. So for that, we need a package.json, and this will house the dependencies which we will have to install into our local system. So for that, go to the README. You can see that the command to set up the project is npm install, which means you need Node and npm installed into your system. For me, I already have Node installed, which is now version 12, and npm is version 6. So to install the dependencies, type npm install or npm I as a shortcut. Now that it is done, I'll just type clear and close these files. Now, before I run this application, I would just like to point out that we are in the master branch. If you are using another code editor, or if you are using the CLI, you can just type git status, and you can see that you are on branch master. Okay, let's clear that. So I will just demo the application in the master branch since it has the most updated copy, but ideally, you should branch out from your master branch in order to test the functions. I will discuss this more in the next video, but for now, let's just type npm run serve. Now let's open this application in localhost in the port 8080. Once we're in the app, we can see that this application is about managing a list of series which contains articles. You can also create a new series if you wish by clicking this button, but it is not yet functional for now since the whole application is still under development. So these are just the features. You can see the progress indicator for each item under an article, and you can also see the progress indicator for the whole series itself. Our tasks in the next videos will show how to develop features and fix bugs while learning about the other Git features. That's it. We have now accomplished setting up a project into our local. Next, we will learn a powerful feature in Git which is about the concepts of branching. Branching will help us create copies of the code where we can test, create fixes, and even break your code without affecting the main project. I hope you learned something in this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.